didn't know until quite late, until we started working with scripts and things like that, and it just kind of worked out that I had a boy and Samantha had a girl.
Elizabeth Montgomery's daughter has stunned Hollywood by breaking 3 decades of silence, saying her mother betrayed her husband, her father, and even the angelic image the world adored, claiming Elizabeth believed magic could make people forget. The truth and those words hit like a curse because Elizabeth was not only Samantha the witch from Bewitched. She was an icon of beauty and grace whose smile once hypnotized America. Yet behind that shine lived a life marked by rejection, painful choices, and a woman who truly believed she could bend fate. New York. Winter 1951. 18-year-old Elizabeth Montgomery stood at the threshold of the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, the school her father Robert Montgomery had sworn she would never attend, and Robert, a polished and arrogant star of Hollywood's golden era, repeated the same line for years, saying Hollywood was no place for a decent woman. And at 17, when Elizabeth visited the MGM studio and told him she wanted to stand in front of the camera like him, he turned cold and said he had raised a lady, not an actress. And those words became a wound that pushed her toward a choice she made in secret when she applied to the Academy, leaving a note on his desk saying she was going to learn how to live, not how to please him. When Robert discovered the truth, he erupted, throwing the note to the floor, stomping on it, shouting that she would regret ever bearing the Montgomery name. And after that, the home turned silent, father and daughter barely speaking. And that night, Elizabeth locked herself in her room and wrote that if her father would not let her bear the Montgomery name, she would make the world remember it, a promise that would follow her for the rest of her life. Defining moment of her career came in 1964, when Bewitched premiered during a bright and restless Los Angeles era. And as Samantha twitched her nose on screen, Elizabeth and director William Asher built a family and a television empire together, creating what seemed like the happiest chapter of her life. Yet underneath it all, something darker began to grow because William, while brilliant and loyal to the show, slowly became controlling. And what once felt comforting soon felt suffocating as whispers of his infidelity drifted through their home. Elizabeth never confronted him publicly, but in her diary she wrote that she liked a man who paused long enough to hear himself breathe. A quiet confession of loneliness, and as the cracks widened, she found comfort with Richard Michaels, the young director of Bewitched's final season. And when their relationship became public, it tore apart every remaining thread holding her marriage together, forcing Bewitched to end abruptly after 8 seasons as if someone had cut the power. Mid-Laughter Spring, 1995 in Miami. Elizabeth was filming Deadline for Murder when she began feeling ill. And back in Los Angeles, doctors told her she had late-stage colorectal cancer that had already spread to her liver. And she refused hospitalization because she did not want to die under harsh lights, choosing instead candlelight, music, and the warm wood of her home. May 18, 1995. 33 days after her 62nd birthday, Elizabeth Montgomery passed away peacefully with Robert Foxworth beside her. No machines, only the glow of candles and the jazz she loved 30 years later. Her daughter Rebecca discovered an unsent letter in an old diary addressed to Robert Montgomery, saying it took her years to understand why he never told her she was good, and that neither of them knew how to love without hurting, and she forgave him. Elizabeth Montgomery was not only the magical witch from Bewitched. She was a woman who lived boldly, loved deeply, made mistakes, and learned to forgive herself and others. If this story moved you, share your favorite Elizabeth Montgomery memory in the comments. Smash that like button, subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the powerful stories we bring from the heart of Hollywood.